Kimball office team members in New Orleans for their 2008 sales conference found it hard to tell Mardi Gras had ended for the year.
Hey now.
Kimball staged a carnival-style celebration to mark the Smart Actions campaign that's helping 8 New Orleans businesses and nonprofits devastated by Hurricane Katrina rebuild success. The site of the excitement? Dash Lumber. The fourth-generation New Orleans family company is still recovering 2.5 years after the flood. Because of Kimball's donations and installation of quality office furnishings, Dash and 7 other recipients of Kimball's generosity can recover at a faster pace.
As a result of the storm, we had 3 feet of water. We lost the roofs on several of our buildings, and we had to go to a smaller footprint to operate our business. So our offices are spread out in the much smaller spots. So this way we're able to get the whole crew back together, the 19 of us, in one place instead of 4. And that's going to happen very soon. That Kimball has made this sort of commitment to us to rebuild faster and better is huge. It's unbelievable that a company that far away from us would give this kind of help to us, to Dash Lumber, as well as to the other recipients.
Nearly 2.5 years ago, 80% of New Orleans was destroyed by Hurricane Katrina. And appropriately, the rest of the country put their collective arms around New Orleans to help meet basic family needs. But now is the time to start focus on helping New Orleans recover from an economic standpoint. New Orleans is still struggling to regrow its population, and some reports have recently been published that have said that slowing population is a critical risk factor into the economic well-being and recovery of New Orleans. And Kimball office recognized that, and so today we stand here proudly getting ready to donate quality furnishings to 8 recipients who have demonstrated a commitment to stay here, to regrow their business and rebuild the New Orleans economy. You know, prior to Hurricane Katrina, they had 45 employees. Immediately following the hurricane, they were down to 15 or 16 employees. The hurricane destroyed their business sites because of wind, rain, and vandalism. Their vehicles were confiscated by people trying to use them to get out of the city, and the New Orleans Police Department was using them for patrolling. They relocated to Baton Rouge and came back, and when they came back in January 2006, their primary focus wasn't necessarily on just fixing their facility, it was on operational excellence so that they could help their customers. And so they literally were doing business out of the front seat of their trucks using handheld calculators and cell phones. But today we see a new facility for them, and we're real proud to help them.
It just seems too good to be true that somebody would take that much interest in our business or New Orleans like that to help us out, because we couldn't have not done it for many, many years to come if they would not have given us a helping hand.
Paul Forrestal is born and raised in New Orleans, and he and his wife have raised his 3 daughters here. Before the hurricane, they had 2 stores and 15 people employed. After the hurricane, they lost everything. They lost the stores, their personal belongings, and their home. They're back in New Orleans now with 1 store and 4 employees.
My goal since Katrina has been put merchandise on the shelf. And office furniture was down my list of priorities, and I really couldn't afford it. And Kimball contacted us about donating this furniture. Well, the ladies in my office went just crazy. They were like little teenage girls going on their first date. And we gave them the specs of our dimensions of where we had to go, where the furniture had to go. And they told us when it was going to be in. We cleaned it out. They professionally installed it. It looks fantastic. The attitude and the atmosphere in our office is so much better now. I mean, they like coming to work.
Hurricane Katrina felled a tree on their roof, which caused significant damage and destroyed the interior of the restaurant. Amazingly, when they came back, 2/3 of their employees came with them, but they've had to change their business model somewhat. Before, they were primarily focused on the restaurant business and doing a little bit of catering. And now, because their client base has not returned to New Orleans, they're more focused on caterings. Our furnishings mean a lot to them because they're spending a lot more time behind desks working on the catering business. Big Chief Doucette has been called a living legend by those who he has touched in New Orleans for his talent and his teaching. He represents a unique culture of New Orleans. His home is in the 7th Ward and was completely destroyed by the hurricane. Included were his studio and his workshop, and it precluded his ability to be able to teach kids about the culture of New Orleans. Big Chief is currently in the middle of trying to rebuild, and I don't know that he even thought about or dreamed of office furniture.
And my Indian work, you know, is very, 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 very important to New Orleans. It's very important to New Orleans. I'm well recognized for what I do. You understand? I'm well respected for what I do. And from kids to old folks, they love me. And you guys showed me love because y'all done hooked me up. You know, I really need this stuff, and it's a blessing to me, and I thank you very much.
Well, we've had so much demand for our services since the levee breaks that we're just busting at the seams, and it is so great that Kimball office is consequently helping us address that demand. People need our services. We want to give them, and it is so great to be able to do that in surroundings that are sufficient for the cause.
We lost not only our Boys Hope home, but our Girls Hope home and our office. We lost everything. We lost our furniture, we lost computers, we lost everything to the storm. And though we've been able in the past 2.5 years to recover by repairing our Boys Hope home, our Girls Hope home had to be torn down. And so we're rebuilding from ground up, an entire structure for both our office and Girls Hope home. And Kimball has decided so graciously to be able to provide Boys Hope, Girls Hope with furniture for the entire new structure, the administrative office and the Girls Hope office.
Prior to Hurricane Katrina, Dress for Success New Orleans provided supportive services and resources to more than 1,000 women a year since 1999. However, they lost everything in Hurricane Katrina, including their office space, their furniture, their computer, and all their resources. Dress for Success New Orleans is preparing to open its doors once again in March to the women of New Orleans, and it'll be furnished with office furniture from Kimball Office. It's a nonprofit arts and social services organization whose mission is to provide educational experiences and opportunities that empower artistically talented inner city youth to be professionally self-sufficient through creative self-expression. They open the doors for young artists in this city and abroad while encouraging others to succeed in school. The location of Young Artists, Young Aspiration is currently in was their storage space at the time of the hurricane. Although it didn't flood, the roof was damaged and many files and artwork were destroyed. However, Young Artists, Young Aspiration's biggest loss due to the hurricane was the displacement of nearly 80% of their guild members. Without guild members, there is no Young Artists, Young Aspirations. Most of the guild members who were displaced did not have the chance, opportunity, or the means to return to New Orleans. Young Artists, Young Aspirations, like so many, are starting over.
So what Kimball has done for Yaya is to return to us our pride in our environment and to give us back that atmosphere and that environment that we really want to provide to the young people who we seek to serve, so that they in turn can be inspired to serve the rest of New Orleans through their art.
This really is going to be a day that we're going to remember for a long time, and it's not just because we gave some furnishings to 8 very worthy recipients, it's because of what they're giving us back. This is truly an uplifting experience. It has been for me personally to go through this, and I think it has been for all of you as well, for our business and for our families and for our communities. I couldn't be more proud of Kimball Office today than what I am.